Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're jumping into something, it sounds a bit like campfire stuff, doesn't it? But trust me, it's very real. And for writers, it can actually be surprisingly lucrative. We're talking about getting paid to write ghost stories.
Right, paid to give people the chills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crafting those tales that, make your hair stand up and actually monetizing that specific skill. So our mission today is really to unpack how this area that seems so niche isn't just like a spooky fantasy. It's a real opportunity, and it seems to be driven by this almost insatiable need for content out there. It's created a pretty unique space.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here for you listening, especially if you're after that sort of quick, valuable insight, is how this connects. How this very specific thing, ghost stories, connects to the bigger picture of the whole modern content economy. It just highlights how diverse and sometimes how unexpected the paths for creative work have become. I mean, in a world that just constantly demands new material, even something this specialized, like writing ghost stories, can actually open up real, sustainable opportunities.
Okay, so let's get specific. What exactly is ghost story writing here? We're not talking about actual ghosts typing away, right?
No, definitely not spectral authors. This is about being a ghostwriter. Meaning your name is absolutely not on the finished work. It's a very clear transaction, really. You provide the story, the chilling narrative, the creative output, and the client pays you for the rights to use it. Your creativity becomes, well, a commodity.
A very specific spooky commodity.
Exactly. And, this market, it's really booming, precisely because of that dynamic we were just talking about.
Right, the ghostwriting aspect.
These clients, they aren't just looking for, one story that they can maybe publish themselves. No. They often need a constant stream, sometimes weekly, of fresh narratives. They have to keep their audiences hooked, keep their platforms alive.
Weekly. Wow, that's a lot of ghosts.
It really is. Think about YouTubers doing horror narration. Some have huge followings, millions of subscribers. They're putting out new stories every single week. Gotta keep people clicking.
Makes sense.
And then you've got these, really popular fiction apps. They need a non-stop flow of scary stories to keep people reading, swiping.
Right, those story apps.
Yeah. And beyond those big ones, there are niche blogs, totally dedicated to unsettling tales, independent horror podcasts needing original scripts. Even some video game companies are looking for this kind of thing, for unique lore, creepy backstories.
Interesting.
The key thing, the really fascinating part for anyone thinking about this as a side hustle, is the ongoing demand. It's not just one-offs. That makes it potentially quite sustainable.
That constant demand is huge.
Yeah.
But it does bring up a question probably for a lot of listeners. Do I need to be the next Stephen King to even try this? What's the bar for entry here?
Right, that's a fair question. And the answer is definitely no. You absolutely don't need to be a literary giant.
Okay, good.
But you do need certain specific writing skills. It's really crucial that you can build suspense well. You need to understand pacing, how to let that dread sort of creep in slowly.
Not just jump scares.
Exactly. Create that sense of genuine unease, that dread, without just relying on cheap tricks. The aim is to tell a story that sticks with the reader, lingers in their mind long after they've put it down, makes them maybe glance over their shoulder later.
So when you say linger in the mind, what's a key way to achieve that? Is it about a big twist at the end, or is it more that gradual atmosphere building you mentioned?
I'd say it's often much more about the atmosphere. The psychological side of things, think less about the monster jumping out and more about that unsettling feeling. An unseen presence maybe, or watching a character's sanity slowly fray.
Yeah.
It's about planting these little seeds of dread that kind of grow as the story goes on. That leaves a much deeper, lasting impression than just a quick shock.
That makes total sense. It's like you're crafting this whole compelling illusion. The real terror comes from what's suggested, what's felt, not just what you explicitly show them.
Precisely.
Okay, practicalities. How does someone actually get started? Break into this. The best way, it sounds like, is pretty straightforward. Build a small portfolio first.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need a whole novel, just 2 or 3 really solid examples, your best, most chilling short stories.
And these are like your calling card.
Absolutely. They show what you can do. Maybe write a classic haunted house story, or take a local spooky folk tale and give it your own unique spin.
Or an urban legend, maybe.
Yeah, an urban legend with a fresh, unsettling angle, something that demonstrates your range and that you can deliver that creepy feeling.
Okay, got the samples. Where do you take them?
Good question. Well, freelance marketplaces, the usual suspects like Upwork or Fiverr, they're definitely starting points. But you might find even better luck going direct. Look for specialized forums, uh, online groups where horror creators actually hang out.
Ah, finding the community.
Right. Pitch your ideas there, show them your samples, and crucially, be ready to adapt. Be ready to craft a story that fits their specific need. They might say, hey, I need a story about a possessed doll for my podcast next week.
Bye.
Or we need a dark secret for a small town setting for our blog. You need to show you can tailor your writing.
Adaptability is key then.
Definitely.
Okay, let's talk money, because that's the lucrative part we mentioned at the start. You said command a good rate. What does that actually look like? Is it per word, per story, project-based?
Yeah.
What's a realistic range someone might expect, especially starting out?
Yeah, the money question is always important. It really can vary quite a bit,
Yeah.
based on your experience, how complex the story is, the client's budget, obviously. But for a solid, well-written piece, you could see rates anywhere from, say, 10 cents a word up to 50 cents a word, sometimes even higher for really specialized stuff or longer projects.
Okay, 10 to 50 cents a word. So for a short story,
For a typical short story, say 1,500 to 3,000 words, that could easily translate to anywhere from $100, $150 up to $500, maybe even more per story.
wow, right.
Per story.
Yeah. And the real value often comes from getting consistent work, finding repeat clients who like your style.
Yeah.
A lot of creators might prefer just a fixed project fee instead of per word. That can range wildly. But for a standard short story, maybe in that 2,000 word range, getting $200 to $400 isn't uncommon once you've shown you can deliver quality.
It's pretty good for a side hustle.
It really can be. And remember, the goal here for most people doing this isn't about becoming this famous author with your name on the cover. It's about monetizing a very specific creative skill that happens to be very much in demand right now. Getting paid for your original chilling ideas. So for all you writers listening, especially if you love a good scare, and you're maybe looking for a new kind of fascinating way to use those skills, don't overlook this. It seems like the world is full of people craving a good ghost story, and you might just have the ability to write it for them. Could be the most fun you've ever had making some money.
And that actually brings up a final thought, something for you to maybe mull over after listening to this deep dive. Beyond just ghost stories, what other creative talents, things that seem really niche, maybe even a bit odd, what other skills might hold surprising, untapped value in this content-hungry world we live in now? It's an interesting question, right? Where else might unique creativity meet unexpected market demand?